Opener here on a Thursday morning, courtesy of our friend Hardees of Arkansas, who sent that to us. I love when our listeners send us songs, Tommy. I know we compose things from time to time, but that was a good opening. 51 days out for football. We're live here at Hardees, 1820 Phoenix Avenue this morning. A little different time slot for us. We're not necessarily used to being here at 9 a.m., but glad to be here. And they've got
Doesn't stop us from eating biscuits, though.
no, I've already
Not at
found
all.
it. Biscuits, gravy, eat a smoked sausage sandwich, take a minute, $1.49. Sausage biscuits now a lot.
But like, Hardee's, that's one thing a lot of people may not know. They're doing breakfast till noon. There's no better biscuit in fast food than Hardee's. We know that. It's like before. But you get it till noon. So, and they brought back for a limited time my very favorite. My death row, if I'm on death row because I've murdered you during the middle of a show on live YouTube TV. I would want a smoked sausage biscuit from Hardee's as part of my final meal. So those are available right now as well.
You get it? Okay.
Oh.
You're going to spend. All right. I figured you were going to spend. So what are we giving away this year?
Well, we're bribing you. First of all, we're going to bribe you. Download the Hardee's app to your mobile device. And if you don't know, we got 2 or 3 13-year-olds around here to help you with your phone to get that downloaded. And come in, doesn't cost you anything to download it, spin the wheel, and Dwayne here at Hardee's has loaded up the giveaway wheel with, some cool stuff. $20 gift cards, free Monster Burger combos. I see one on here where you can feed your office for up to 10 people, free lunches. There's about 15 or 20 different items that are on here, and we got some prizes. So come in right now. And you can spin the wheel. If you have the Hardee's app, just show us you got that. But we're essentially bribing you to download the Hardee's app. So we're doing that. $1.49 sausage biscuits. And it's our 20th anniversary. Hard to believe. It's been 20 years since we've been started giving away a football trip of a lifetime. It started when Arkansas and the game didn't go so well, but the trip was awesome. Arkansas and USC. We doubled down. OU and USC played that day. You got to go to the Rose Bowl. And also go to the Coliseum that day. So it was awesome to go out and see 2 games in L.A. in one day. That's where it all began 20 years ago, and this year we're giving away a trip to Vegas, see the Cowboys and the Raiders, and you can come by and qualify starting at 11 for the football trip of a lifetime here at Hardee's. Our show this morning brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. They're there for you with anything you need concerning top-quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. Whether you're working on a small residential project or a large-scale commercial job, APAC has you covered, and no job's too big or too small for them. 479-587-3300 for rock, asphalt, and ready-mix. They've got it all. APAC and Standard Materials Group, 587-3300.
So we're 51 days out from Arkansas football. Just a few more days to tack on the NFL season. I've seen some news about Patrick Mahomes. I know there was a radio host giving him a hard time about his weight this week. I heard the morning show that came on before Chuck and Bo talking about Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys documentary coming out in Netflix on Netflix late in. But there's plenty of people are wondering about the Chiefs after getting pummeled pretty good by the Eagles this past season. I know he hadn't spent a ton of time on the National Football League, but there's some interesting NFL storylines heading into this year too.
Yeah, and I think people are always wondering if this is going to be the year for the Cowboys. So, I think it would be a lot of interest in that around here. Hard to believe someone would criticize Patrick Mahomes, a guy with 3 Super Bowl rings, but clickbait would be what I'd probably say about that.
Not everyone can look like Tom Brady at any point in their life. The fact that Tom Brady looked better at 40 than he did at 22 is pretty remarkable. But I don't know if anyone would want to go through the TB diet. So we're going to be at SEC Media Days next week, and narratives are going to come out a week from today on this Arkansas football team. Sam Pittman, Cam Ball, Taylor Green, and also Xavier Sori are going to be there. And I guess my question is, like, there's things negatively we've talked about. There's other things we've talked about in the SEC. What part of this team, you can jump in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. What Kool-Aid are you actually drinking this fall? What do you actually believe?
Is it red? Isn't red the right answer?
Yeah. What, from a positive standpoint, from this football team, that's going to happen? What do you actually believe is going to be a part of good to come out of this football team this fall?
How do you? Is there anything you could say with total conviction? You talk about Taylor Green being a returning. I mean, we talk a lot about Taylor Green and Bobby Petrino in second year and being a returning starter, but are you really convicted about that opinion, or is that just maybe the low-hanging fruit? This team, this program has lost the benefit of the doubt to believe, hey, everything will be fine. I don't think they're going to get blown out in a lot of games. I don't think they're going to get embarrassed, but I also don't believe they're going to win 9 games either. Probably not even 8. Things got to go right to win 7. I don't think they'll do worse than 5. I'd like to be more glass 3/4 full than maybe half full, and I think depending on where your opinion's at, that may be glass half full. Some would say it's glass half empty, but I don't see, when you compare what Arkansas has compared to teams they're going to play, how that adds up to 9 wins.
I don't want to say something as deflating as the punter, like Devin Bell. Giving Hell Bell is, I think, what Coach Sam Pittman calls him. I think he's going to be a top 10 punter in college football this year like he was last year. But I'm going to point to the linebackers. You got Diggs, you got Sori back. Sori's the best player on the team. You added Andrew Harris. There's like Wyatt Simmons and some younger guys. You bring in Tavion Wallace. I don't know how much he's going to play this football season. But Bradley Shaw, we saw him a little bit last year. I think he had a 4th down stop, if I remember. He helped on a 4th down stop. I just think I was so impressed. Like when you look at what Arkansas lost at that group, the position that T. Will obviously played at Auburn, they lost Jaheim Thomas, Chris Paul a year ago, heading into this past season. I'm thinking, man, this unit's oof. And sure enough, it might have been the best unit on the team. In fact, they were probably better than the year before, even though the bigger names you felt like it left her with. I think of any position group outside of punter, which he might be, Devin Bell might be the best in, like, when you stack him up against that other SEC competition. That's kind of getting deflating to say that about a punter. I'm going to go with the linebackers. If I'm going to drink any Kool-Aid on this football team, it's T. Will's group in the middle.
Well, there's more returning starters, and I think you got, what do a group of linebackers need in order for them to collect a lot of tackles? They need their defensive line to control their gaps, right? And funnel plays to the linebackers. You agree with that?
Yeah.
And that's one thing that, maybe you got with some experienced players that are coming back up front. Maybe you've got a defensive line led by Cam Ball in the middle, who we're going to hear from next week at SEC Media Days, that can help funnel those plays to the linebackers. But again, are you hoping or are you convicted when you say that?
About the linebackers?
Yeah.
Convicted. Well, that's why I laid it out. That's the Kool-Aid I'm drinking this fall, if anything. I have no reservations really at all with that position. I look at I know you got A.J. Green back, you bring in Mike Washington, Braylon Russell's back at a running back, but I think people are uneasy. You're obviously uneasy about a wide receiver group. Colton, you give the stat one more time about the wide receiver group. One returning pass catcher.
Only
with
one
the
returning pass catcher has a touchdown catch as a Razorback.
Yeah, that's key. Taylor, while you're expecting more out of him in year 2, still turnover prone. Or you're hoping that's not the case, but at least it was last year. Defensive-wise, back in a lot of new guys. Cam's the returner up front that you talked about, but there's several guys that either graduated or transferred. So that's the group to me with Dix and Sori back that I'm fully confident in. Now, injuries obviously could derail that, but that is the Kool-Aid if I'm drinking anything this morning. Now, we already got a text here out of 479 says, talk Let's Hogs and more about the biscuits. My buddies are texting me here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. He's wondering, my buddy Tim, who lives in Springdale, is wondering about the smoked sausage biscuit. That's what I had.
That's what I had.
Again, that's what you had. And we can both verify that it is fantastic. $1.49 sausage biscuits right now at Fort Smith and Southall locations. Neither of us even got it. There's so many biscuit options. You can choose whatever.
No, that's easy. That's the easy call for me. But a little bit later, if you already had breakfast, come by and eat lunch with us. We're rolling back the price on the Monster Burger. $3.50, and this thing is as loaded up a burger as you're going to find. 2 patties, bacon, cheese. It's got it all on there. And if you think you can eat one in 150 seconds or less, and you want to be part of the Football Trip of a Lifetime Finals and our Monster Burger eating giveaway or contest rather, you can do that. Our first qualifying event today, starting at 11:30. Here at Hardees on Phoenix Avenue. We'll do that till 1:30 today.
Yeah. All right, let's get into what we've been talking about the last couple days or so. John Calipari had an open practice that Colton got to take in. That is our opening drive.
The way this is, you probably need to play more people. You got to be in the greatest shape. If I'm doing them a service, it's the habits that you leave here with are going to help you on and off the court, but they're going to help you when you're moving. You go to the next level, you're having those kind of habits. So it's real. The reality of it is these kids, you're seeing them get better. I just want them to understand you're improving. Now that should excite you, and that should give you more enthusiasm. My job is to figure out, okay, they all got better now. How exactly are we going to have to play? Which I don't know yet.
This is the opening drive.
So I got a funny text yesterday, Tommy. And I had not seen this just yet. But Colton posted this video where, 20 shots and there was one make?
I don't know if it was 20 shots, but in my haste to just get the content up quickly, I didn't realize that I fat-fingered the wrong video with a lot of misses and
a lot of bricks.
Catching some flack for it. But.
And so everyone is like, why did you post this clip, blah, blah, blah. There was plenty of other makes it happen. But, I mean, here's your first time Colton the Eddie Sutton practice facility yesterday, which is an awesome building, by the way. I think it was built my senior year, if I remember that right. What did you take in? What did you see from some of the new guys and some of the holdovers from last year?
It was an extremely exciting opportunity to go watch practice. I mean, not only because of the fact that, it's a great opportunity to just go into an awesome facility, state-of-the-art, and watch really top-notch basketball players, but to get a peek behind the curtain of how one of the most successful and polarizing and notable coaches in his sport, in his, in his niche of what he does, operates his practice and does everything, and he was in command of everything from start to finish, and he directed, what drills were being done next, so that was really interesting to see. And then as for the team, boy, they are going to be exciting to watch. And one of the themes of the press conference and sort of the theme of the day was the fact that this is such a stark difference from where this basketball program was at last summer. I mean, if you remember, Cal said it, and we'll have some clips to play later on, but, I mean, they had no roster. They didn't have a schedule. They didn't have really much together at all. And now when they finally got that roster together, players were hurt. They didn't have a lot to practice, and now they're running a full, at least 4-on-4 opportunity to practice yesterday with lots of up and down work and getting in transition and pushing the pace. And the team is going to be extremely exciting to watch. They've all gotten so much better since we've seen them last time against Texas Tech. Everybody that's came back, Trevor Brazile has gotten stronger. Billy Richmond's gotten better. DJ Wagner is steady Eddie as per usual, and then all the excitement, all the hype surrounding the new guys, Jarius Acuff and Malik Thomas, the freshman, as well as Isaiah Sealy, too. That's all real. The hype is absolutely real. Those guys are extremely talented, and once they get their feet wet, adjusted to getting, practice under their feet, lots of those, they're going to be really, really exciting to watch for this Razorback basketball team. So it was a great opportunity to go watch the team, and hope they get a chance to open it up some more. And if they do, I'll probably try and take some better videos next time.
How did Nick Pringle and Malik Ewan, the South Carolina and Florida State transfers, how did they look? I mean, Wagner, Brazile, Richmond, Knox, all players that played a lot last year and part of the core of what, or the core of what's returning. But how did these experience transfer? I mean, we'll talk about the freshmen in a minute, but how will Pringle and Ewan, you think, blend in with that core of experienced returning players.
I think you unintentionally answered your own question right there when describing them. Their experience, Tommy. They look like and act like high IQ basketball players that have been through a lot of practice. And then one of the things that I mentioned from both of them, obviously they both are extremely smooth, but they're also really good playmaking bigs, meaning they're not afraid to make the extra pass, go up and, try and put their body into harm's way and then do what's the Magic Johnson, the hee-hee, throw it behind the back to them and do all that stuff. So those are two really unselfish, skilled bigs as well. They're going to be able to do some good things. And Malik Ewan can step out and really stretch the floor. So that's something that is going to be really exciting to watch because not only do you have Trevin Brazile that can space the floor and step out and shoot the three-pointer, but Malik Ewan is maybe even a little bit better of a shooter than him. And as for Nick Pringle, I mean, what you've watched when you've seen him over the last several years at South Carolina and Alabama. I mean, he is an extremely athletic player, and he was active all over the glass yesterday, grabbing rebound after rebound, just snatching them off the board. So that's one thing that kind of did Arkansas in at the end of their tournament run this year was the aggressiveness and the physicality to go get an offensive rebound. I think that they have that in Nick Pringle.
John Tyson was there. Did you talk to him?
Yeah, you would think that, a guy that's worth $2 billion might dress a little better than a Hawaiian shirt and blue jeans and what looks like Tom's shoes, but he is the most unassuming and kind man because he went through and talked to everybody that he knew, and he looks like he was just like a kid in the candy store, just sitting there watching practice, cutting up with people. So that was really cool to see. There were lots of celebrity sightings yesterday. I mean, I walked in, and after the media session was over where we were allowed to film, we got to just observe the rest of practice. I was trying to, stay out of the way because everybody there knows each other, and I'm basically just filling in for Ty. So I just kind of stay out of the way, and I find myself standing next to Clay Henry, and he's having a conversation with somebody about fly fishing, and I turn over to look who it is, future College Baseball Hall of Famer Norm DeBryan. So that was pretty neat, too, while he was sitting there. I don't know why he was in the basketball practice gym, but he was there, so I got to listen to some of that. But there were lots of celebrities yesterday, including Mr. John Tyson.
Well, Clay's going to be with us tomorrow. Ty's out tomorrow, so Clay's going to hop in with us tomorrow. And like I said, he was there. I was texting back and forth with Clay a little bit earlier this morning on some of the things he saw. So we'll hear some of his observations from yesterday. But just going through it, watching the videos, all of it's up and available at hitthatline.com. You can see it, but listening, it was a long press conference, 40-plus minutes that Coach spoke yesterday. So, I mean, give him credit for laying it all out. It's kind of funny there at the very beginning, wanting to know, hey, anybody here know anything about ball? What'd y'all see? What'd you guys? You want to see what our observations as media were? And I don't imagine he was probably blown away at the responses, but just listening to him and kind of piecing together you had AI go through his 40 minutes. I think he'd talk about conditioning. The big takeaways were conditioning and the team in better condition at this point of the year. They're working on that. He talked about DJ Wagner's dad wanting to know what old school, or him wanting to know from his dad what old school meant, and that was kind of a funny moment. Availability, players being healthy and being able to practice. And then I think yesterday, just from what was seen over that hour or so, a lot of dribble penetration, a lot of going to the hole, and probably one thing Clay's going to come in here tomorrow with, but it is July. It didn't sound like a ton of defense was being played. But that's okay. It's July. Guys want to go to the hole. They want to score. They want to shoot. They want to dunk. But it didn't sound like defensive skills were put on display in this 1-hour media-made session.
They were trying to display the what people want to actually.
I mean, defense doesn't excite most people. It should. It should, but it doesn't.
There was plenty of offensive highlights to go around, though. I mean, Billy Richmond, he kind of put Trevin Brazile on a poster at one point. So, I mean, there was lots of offense going on. But one thing, Ty, you mentioned that, the video mishap or whatnot. I only feel bad about that, not because of the fact that they missed shots. I mean, basketball player misses shot, fork found in kitchen. I mean, big deal. But at the end of the day, I only feel bad about it because at the end of practice, Coach made every single one of the players go around and give all the media that were there. They made them give them a handshake, fist bump or whatever. But also, he looked us all in the eye, every single one of them. I thought that was really neat. So it makes me, as a person that's completely biased towards the Razorbacks, like them a lot more.
I getting a chance to see again the newcomers and the guys that have been around there. Like you said, obviously improved. Was a cool experience. And like Tommy said, that content's up for you on hitthatline.com as well.
All right, that's your opening drive. We're live at Hardees, Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Come by and say hi. $1.49 sausage biscuits all the way till noon today. We'll have monster burgers beginning at 11 for just $3.50. We're rolling back prices to 2005, our very first football trip of a lifetime. Opening drive brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. It is summertime, and it was hot and muggy and steamy yesterday. It's been a great day to cool off in your 70-something degree pool. They can do that for you at Burton Pools and Spas. Up to $1,500 off, or dive into summer semi-in-ground pool savings on semi-in-ground pools starting at just $190 a month, or get an in-ground pool and get a free heater with it right now. Select pools to keep you going and make you feel good this summer, all at Burton Pools and Spas. 4 locations: Hot Springs, Greenland, the original location, Fort Smith, and in Springdale as well, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life.
All right, we're going to test your Disney knowledge. On this day in 1981, 44 years ago, this movie was released.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd. What's your name, kid? Mine's Copper. I'm a hound dog.
Do we know what movie that is?
Nope.
Fox and the Hound.
Nope.
Did you watch the cartoon movies back in the Disney? You used to have some really good cartoons.
This was a good one, Todd.
Now
This
they all
Robin
stink.
Hood. This was a good one.
Yeah, now they all stink. They're terrible. But back in the day, like in the 60s and 90s, Disney used to, every year they put out a good movie, and now they're abysmal. Not good.
Nope, I don't. Wasn't a huge moviegoer as a kid, but certainly not the cartoons. Watch cartoons on Saturday mornings. That's when you watched cartoons.
The good time. All right, we got our Hog Update coming up. More from Cal when we return.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
You need to clean up your picture a little. You're half in, half out.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1
what I'm
mobile
seeing
app
on
for
my
placing sports wagers.
You
In
got
Arkansas,
those windows
7
are
out
blowing
of
you out.
every $10 placed in a sporting bet app
My
is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid.
I was in and then it kicked me out.
faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
You're
Bet
not
Saracen
swearing
is
there at all.
Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Coburg spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
So what are we doing about next week?
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fitzman, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no
media
work.
session runs what? 1 to 4, when's Sam speak?
So what did you see? Does anybody know any basketball here?
This
We
is
moved
The
back to a
Morning
later
Rush.
flight, but I'm not interested. In staying overnight.
Head to Hardees for the all-new barbecued pulled pork Frisco burger. A charbroiled, quarter-pound, 100% Angus beef patty, topped with 16-hour slow-smoked barbecued pulled pork and toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardees. Get a free pulled pork Frisco burger when you download the app and join
I just said if you wanted to
the
stay,
app
like,
terms.
if you want to leave, I'll just stay.
That's fine. I mean, I'm going to stay
Save
through
up
this
to
deal. I mean, I'm
$4,000
Lights
on
not
select
like-
Buick Envisions at
Well,
Harry
I'm gonna move
Robinson
back to
Buick
6
GMC.
o'clock.
The Buick Envision
There's 6
showcases
o'clock light
inspired design with exclusive features in
Something
this
like that,
5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per
I don't
month.
need to be
These
out
are
of office
limited time
another day.
offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. How about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? you might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
There's a 6:10 flight. There's a 5:30 flight that gets in. What time we getting in now?
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. With an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option, Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido,
Well, once
or
he's
even
done with
battling
this
depression?
media.
You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert in testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Hey guys, this is Ethan at Wheeler Power Sports, and we want you to stop in and see Drew at our apparel department. On-road or off-road, we've got you covered. Helmets, jackets, gloves, footwears, and everything in between, from top brands like Alpine Star, Icon, Scorpion, RST, Bell, and many more. Also see Lane and team at the Wheeler Power Sports Parts Department, from standard maintenance items to custom accessories and add-ons. Wheeler's got you. Wheeler Power Sports, 901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Taco Bell's new crispy chicken tacos and burritos are so delicious.
You can't do it till midnight.
Nope, they're a taco place.
So this
They
crispy
have
chicken
replied.
tacos from another chicken place.
No, it's from Taco Bell.
But this chicken is all white meat with avocado ranch. Gotta be from a chicken place.
It's coated in crispy tortilla chips. That's Taco Place.
I don't know, it seems like Taco Bell's just a chicken place now.
Well, the crispy chicken also comes in burritos.
What is even real?
Try
I'm
the
gonna
new
wait
crispy
till
chicken
Kyle
tacos
tells
and
us.
burritos from Taco Bell. Your taco place, it's also a chicken place, it's also a taco place.
Participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Hey, Ty Richardson for a Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut
I was
Above
thinking
also
all my
offers
years of doing
tree
media
and
days,
limb
Arkansas
removal.
was
Don't forget
last
hauling
on
and
Friday.
dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service. They're
We don't
a
do any
Cut
better
Above.
next
Call
year,
or
we're
text
not
today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump
We're
grinding,
losing
leaf
money.
removal, mulching, flea tick, and
We got
mosquito control.
$2,500.
719-5605.
We got less than 4,000 in sales.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hello.
There's only one.
Yeah, that's the radio.
We love the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and close. 107 down. This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Collins. Alex has got room.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Both of them, you could see they're more confident and there's less anxiety. Anxiety wipes you out, physically wipes you out, mentally wipes you out when you don't know and you're trying to guess. And then the term you always use is, I'm confused. No, you're learning. You're learning. You're not confused. You're learning. And so those two now have an idea of what we're trying to do.
Any idea that who he's talking about there? I think it's pretty easy to figure out. That's John Calipari, head basketball coach here at Arkansas, talking about Billy Richmond and Carter Knox in year two. And Carter really came, not that Billy didn't, but you think about Carter's scoring, particularly in the NCAA tournament, really came on. Billy's just kind of a do-it-all guy for this basketball team. Just to have a year under their belt. Tommy Colton was talking about the experience from Malik Ewan and Nick Pringle. Trev's in his final year. Those guys have played a full season. I mean, you've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of college basketball. And I know that you've got three freshmen in Sealy and Acuff and also Malik Thomas. But this is not necessarily what you're customarily used to for John Calipari coach basketball team with all that experience that he has on his roster.
Well, I mean, can you go by what's customary? What he did for years was get the best 5 or 6 freshmen in the country. Well, no one does that now. So I mean, I don't know that customary is a standard anymore. It's how do I go get the 3 best freshmen in the country and the 4 best transfer players to replace the 4 guys that went in the draft in the first round. I think that's the goal now, right? have 3 or 4 guys drafted, at least drafted, and then try to replace those with the best players in college basketball. That's what everyone would love to do.
We were talking about the health earlier, and just nice that they have more guys that they can get up and down. Is Ratal Colton? Was he the Ratal? However you say his name. Was he the only one that was held out yesterday?
Yes, and Coach Cal mentioned that he had a back injury, but yeah, okay. He did not participate in practice.
Okay, well, DJ and Trev were talking about it after practice, just the continuity of the team right now.
Yeah, I would just say last year we were kind of injured during the summer, so we couldn't get the bump that we needed. But this year we got everybody practicing, everybody playing the whole summer, so we're getting a lot out of it.
We had a lot of injuries last year, so we wasn't able to play as much. But when it comes to coming along as a team, I wouldn't be able to tell you that. That's something for coach to tell you. But I feel like we've been playing together pretty good, just learning each other pretty good. And everybody on the court can play, so I feel like they all make it easier to play with them. And, it's been fun. Just fun learning each other's games.
I think one of the questions I have, so DJ took over the point guard duties when Boogie got injured last year and held it through the NCAA tournament. You bring in this kid, Darius Acuff, 5-star, IMG Academy, McDonald's All-American, who's used to having the ball in his hands. Like that dynamic, what that dynamic looks like between those two. It's like DJ go back to the 2-guard, even though Malik plays that. I know that Cal's got plenty of guys he can work with, but I'm curious to see who the primary ball handler is for this team this year.
Yeah, and is that a battle that that will go into the start of the season? Or will DJ just have that spot kind of as the returner there? I mean, those are some of the interesting talking points that we're, kicking around after getting to watch a practice.
Ty, those two were matched up with each other on every one-on-one drill, and they were on opposite teams on all 4-on-4 stuff. And I think they're very complementary players. DJ, not really known for being a lights-out shooter. I think Darius Acuff's a little bit better than him at that. But one thing that DJ does is extremely aggressive and smart in the paint. And this was a common theme yesterday Coach Cal talked about. These high school players have to realize it's not high school. You can't over-dribble into the paint. So they're very complementary players in that way. There are some things that are strengths for Darius Acuff that aren't for DJ and vice versa. So when they come off the bench for each other, if that's how it works up, I think things will end up being okay.
Yeah, DJ's really good at paint touches. He's really good at getting the ball at the rack this last season. All right, continue on your Hog Update. Sam Pittman Live is back for another season. First show will begin August the 20th, so in about 40 days from now, we'll have that initial show for you here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and our Hit That Line Now app. Other football news, Tommy, this is from Tom Murphy of Whole Hog Sports of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, who's going to join us in 30 minutes. Ishmael Cisse is going to have surgery to repair a broken wrist. Apparently got it injured in the weight room. Don't know how long it's going to be, but curious to Tom's perspective on that coming up in a position group that you just don't know a lot about.
Well, you don't. I mean, first of all, huge question mark with wide receiver. Second of all, you don't know. A ton about the injuries. A broken bone? Is this, a bone might be better than a ligament tear. We're not doctors, but we've been around sports long enough to know that there are things that happen in the wrist that sometimes a bone can heal in 6 weeks. But where are you at in 6 weeks? You're in camp already. So, you got to have him out there, and obviously a wrist and a hand pretty integral to catching a football. So, is this concerning? Absolutely, because Cisse's a guy that by most accounts is at the top of the depth chart in one of your 3 wide receiver spots.
That is your Hog Update this morning. Hog Update always brought to you by our friends at Mr. Spark.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888 Sparky.
All right, just a reminder, we are live at Hardees, 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
What are you talking about, Vegas?
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Vegas. We're giving away, again, a football trip of a lifetime. Dallas Cowboys going to Allegiant Stadium to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Plus, there's a bunch. First time we've had this wheel out here, Thomas. Yep. It's the 20th one here.
Yep, and we've already had someone come in that has the Hardees app on their phone. You can download it for free. When you have the Hardees app, come in. Dwayne's here at the wheel. Just show him you got the app on your phone. You can spin the wheel. There are 15 or more good prizes, great prizes on here. Gift cards to Hardees, free combos, free meals, even feed your office for up to 10 people is one of the things you can win. So come by. We got prizes to give away here at Hardees. If you're looking for a stay in Northwest Arkansas, we always recommend the Inn at the Mill. 479-443-1800 is the number. It's the place to go get, anytime you need to stay in Northwest Arkansas because it's conveniently located to everything on 549 at the Johnson exit. InAtTheMill.com or call Jennifer this morning and book your reservations. 443-1800. 800 for the end at the mill.
All right, when we come back, we got our Morning Rush daily question to get into more football talk as we roll on a Thursday edition of the Morning Rush.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen. Look for my double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Designed by Jason Christel, the Booyah Finesse Co-Work Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Co-Work Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Did I even answer what you were asking me?
You did, yes.
This is the Morning Rush.
The summer sales drive continues at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, save up to $6,000 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, reconditioned and backed by limited warranty. We've got you covered for your service needs as well, with half-off brakes and special financing available for those larger repairs. With our live market painless pricing and non-commissioned sales staff, we're committed to taking the hassle out of buying a quality pre-owned vehicle in the River Valley. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
When you're craving serious burger goodness, head to Hardees for the all-new barbecued pulled pork Frisco burger. A charbroiled, quarter-pound, 100% Angus beef patty, topped with 16-hour slow-smoked barbecued pulled pork on toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardees. Get a free pulled pork Frisco burger when you download the app and join my reward. The app for terms.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. How about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Whether you're opening your first checking account, purchasing your first home, saving for your first big vacation, or opening a new business, First Star Bank offers hometown service with the latest in digital banking technology. Our local team makes banking fast, convenient, and easy. From simple everyday banking to helping you fulfill your dreams, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. First Star Bank. We'll be there through all your firsts. Learn more at firststar.bank or stop by one of our local branches today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service. Satisfied customers and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barlin.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
What's the best part of summer? What's one or two things you really look forward to every summer? I had one last night. Had one last week, but I was reminded again last night. It's summer vegetables. I had a BLT. I found a
Did
produce.
you have that on the bingo card, Colt?
Probably not, but I found a place in Farmington.
Jeez.
I found a place in Farmington that sells Bradley County tomatoes. They bring them up.
What cities in Arkansas?
Warren. You might want to know. They grow great tomatoes and wide receivers, right? You've said that a million times. You should know where Bradley
County was. Now I know.
So I went by, got some of the big Bradley County tomatoes, and had a BLT last night. Had several last week over the 4th of July weekend, but swung through and got those. And I was just thinking last night, I was eating this BLT. This is the best part about summer. I mean, I was raised in my grandparents' gardens eating squash, okra, tomatoes, fresh onions, watermelon, all those things. I mean, we'd have meals that just out of the garden, no meat, just all vegetables, cucumbers. These about 4 or 5 weeks where the vegetables in our state are at their best, that to me is one of the best things about summer.
Do you want the PG-13 or like the G
No,
version?
I mean, whatever.
G, I'll say the lake to start.
Okay.
Going this weekend, going at the end of the month, that'll be the G, and then maybe Sports Illustrated swimsuit for the PG-13 if we're going to go there. Those two things.
Okay.
I did not anticipate you saying vegetables.
Well, I'm old, but that's
golf, hanging with family.
Well, but I'm going to tell you a good ripe Bradley County tomato on between two pieces of bread with some crisp bacon.
Get you going a little bit.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
Colton's about to fall over in the studio. What's yours?
I'll see if I can meet somewhere in the middle between scantily clad women and vegetables from the garden. I don't know what excites me about summer.
Trust me, there's people my age that feel the same way.
Going to the lake is there's definitely someone out there has an equal reaction to Ty seeing the Sports Illustrated cover, I guess, is someone growing a really good squash. I know there's equal reactions out there, but for me, I think Ty stole my answer. I love going out and getting on the water on the lake on either a buddy's pontoon boat or going out whenever my dad has the patience to let me go out there and take me bass fishing. So I love getting out there on the water and just late at night as soon as the sun comes down over the water. There's just nothing like that in Arkansas in the summertime.
That would be my second one, is lake beer from the front of the boat at sunset.
And here's a PSA, and I know that all of you know I'm very much a cheap ass, but one thing I do is when someone takes you out on their boat or tour the lake house or wherever the case may be, you either need to pay for the gas, the alcohol, or the food. Don't be a lurch. Don't be a guy or gal that just do it. Don't even I figured that out when I actually started post college, when I actually had disposable income, and I'm like I told myself I am never going to be invited to one of these events or one of these lake house weekends and not contribute food, alcohol, or gas. I just don't be a mooch.
Hey, marina gas is it's $5 a gallon.
It's pricey. They you talk about gouging you there, but I I made a point when I watched my dad and others do that for some of their friends. I was like, okay, I'm going to take that same logic and apply it to myself 20 years later. So PSA to everyone listening this morning. Tomatoes, lake, and Sports Illustrated swimsuit.
Sunset on the lake with cold beer in hand is right up there, too. If
Well,
you were
you're-
eating a BLT with a Bradley County tomato, drinking a beer on the lake from the front of your boat, that would –
And
I
Ty,
think
if
that
the,
it'd
if
be
the
about as
LSU
good as it
cheerleaders
gets.
were there too, it'd be even better, right?
Yeah, it's a shame I have to miss that on Wednesday. I think I figured as a dad, like this is a rite of passage as a father. I don't know if you necessarily do this with daughters or your nieces, but if you got a nephew, if you got a son, and they're on the back of your boat in a tube, man, you want to make sure they get racked. You want to make sure that they get splattered across that water. That was one of my dad's favorite things. I remember. So we
did it last weekend.
We went to Washita, and then he took us, I think, to Hamilton when we were in high school, and he hadn't been out in the water in a while. And like his whole main objective, his whole entire goal that weekend was to make sure that me and my brother were just skipped across the lake water.
You got to turn some proper S curves and get back through your own wake, and then sling them across in order to drag them back across to tip the flow or the whatever you're tubing on.
Josh in Farmington wants to know where the tomatoes were.
It's called Harrods. It was there. It's right on the main drag, right as you came into Farmington.
And Ryan says, "Preach, Tommy," on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline.
I'm telling you.
So there, again, maybe
You
it's just,
clearly weren't raised in a garden.
Well, maybe. Well, my dad loves to garden, but maybe it's just an age.
Did he have a garden when you were a kid?
I think this was more of like a high school and college me hobby that he began to expand on that. If he did, I don't remember it being in our initial houses.
I haven't been to Webbers Falls, Oklahoma. Apparently, they grow the best sweet corn in this part. You kind of like Cave City does the watermelons, or Hope does the watermelons. Bradley County does the tomatoes. Apparently, Webbers Falls, Oklahoma has the best corn on the cob.
Tyler from Winslow, the heat of the summer makes me hate everything. I can't enjoy anything when it feels like I stepped out of a shower 24/7.
Yeah.
You can only take off so many clothes before you get arrested for indecent exposure.
Well, I mean, I went out last night after work, and it was just, all that steam coming out of the ground from all the rain we'd had. It was just, it was like being in a sauna yesterday. And it wasn't really that hot. It was like 91 degrees, 92 degrees, but it felt like 105.
Farmer Tom having ice cream on the deck of Mountain Harbor Marina is after any good day on the lake. That's what he enjoys. So plenty of good activities. That is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. You can have some fun at Cart Pass Social this summer, especially in July where Christian Olsen and Nate Garahan are offering just $25 per bay on Tuesday. Not per person, per bay from 9 to 5. So you can take advantage of that. These can be just a lunch outing. This can be one of those things where you get off work a little bit early. Maybe it's a corporate exercise team event. There's a lot of things you can take advantage of. The #1 indoor golf destination in Arkansas. That is Cart Pass Social. It's always BYOB. Bring your own food as well. Go to cartpasssocial.com.
All right, if you haven't downloaded the Hardees app, get in your Google Play, Apple App Store, download it. Come see us here on Phoenix Avenue. Spin the great wheel of prizes, and you can get something free. Everybody wins, and it doesn't cost anything to download the app, so come and do that today. $1.49 sausage biscuits. Monster burgers are only $3.50, and that begins, I don't know, about an hour and 10 minutes from now. And you can get Hardee's biscuits till noon. So you can't beat that deal. If you're going fishing this weekend, LureNet.com is where you need to go today. You can find all the best from Pradco that's made not far from where we're at, right here in Arkansas. Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. And the site includes exclusive deals and baits you won't find anywhere else on all your favorite brands. And U.S. orders over $35 get free shipping as well. That's LureNet.com, LureNet.com.
So we were talking earlier about, like, something you actually believe in this football team, the Kool-Aid of sorts. I mentioned linebackers, and we got this text from Mitchell in Fort Smith talking about if you drink the Kool-Aid while Pittman is the coach, it's like Jonestown. He's brought us to as far as he can. I think on that text, because I partially agree with that, Mitchell. I think Sam Pittman, as the head coach here at Arkansas, may have peaked in 2021. I hope I'm wrong on that. But I do think there's a chance for them to get to, maybe not this year, but I could see them getting to 8 wins again. I don't think it's inconceivable. I think you and I agree that that's probably the ceiling for this team, like the highest it can go is 8 wins based on the schedule, personnel, and
if everything goes your way.
If everything goes
and when
your
doesn't it? When doesn't it always go your way as a Razorback fan?
Like even so, if you go back to that 2021 season, while you did have some last-second win, like you think about how the Mississippi State game ended. Cam Little hits a game-winner in overtime against LSU. You had bounces go your way, but you still lost by 1 to Ole Miss in the best game of college football that year. You still had a chance to beat Bryce Young in Alabama in Tuscaloosa, even though he ate you alive in that game. So they almost could have gotten, like, theoretically 10 regular season wins if you look at it, but then you go the opposite way. So, I mean, they have had games, and I know one of the summer topics we had last year is Bobby Petrino worth a win or a touchdown? I think you're hoping that this year, if the defense is a little better against the pass and the offense takes a step up, if the wide receivers come together, then maybe those short games that you have come short in 22, 23, and 24, maybe if a couple of them bounce your way this fall, if you're looking at it from a positive vantage point.
But again, you're counting on the bounce of the ball to be how you get there. Who wouldn't take 7 and sit in the clubhouse right now? I mean, you wouldn't? You raised your hand, or you would.
Oh,
who wouldn't take 7?
Wouldn't.
I think every one of us would take 7 and sit in the clubhouse if you were guaranteed 7. You couldn't get 8. You weren't going to have 6, but 7 was guaranteed. I think that's what this team is capable of. Schedule, I mean, and how many years? We're never going to have a year say, you know what, the schedule is kind of favorable for Arkansas. You know, you do get Auburn, you do get Mississippi State at home. You got to win your non-con games, and you got to steal 1 or 2. That's the formula every year. It's nothing new. We act like we're having a brand new conversation. It's the same conversation we have every July. Got to figure out a way to steal 1 or 2. You stole the Tennessee game last year. Played terrible on offense and still found a way with a great defensive performance and Tennessee mistakes to win that game.
I think one of the other perspectives you look at it, and Missouri lost a lot. Curious to see how they look, but your 2 hardest road games are at the end of the season, being Texas and LSU. In that order, if I remember correctly, is flipped. I think it's LSU then Texas. So while your initial part of the schedule, at least post Arkansas State, it's by no means easy going to Oxford. You've got some, what I would qualify, especially with that stretch of Texas A&M, Auburn, and Mississippi State. It is it's navigable. Before I say it, how do you say it? Navigable.
Yeah.
Part of your schedule
Spell it
is
now.
more. Nope.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Please don't try.
To the middle and front part, rather than the back end. Again, I'm just trying to find ways to not spew venom for the next 51 days. And again, I think they're going 6-6. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they win 7 or 8 games this fall. But I do think there's some people that just are looking for negative things to talk about leading up to this season.
Bet Saracen app says minus 230 on 5+ wins, but plus 110, so essentially even money on 6+ wins. If you think the Hogs are going to be horrible, you can go minus 1,500 on 3+ wins, and that's really a safe bet when you're going 3+, or 10+ wins if you're really bold. Plus 3,000. That's all at the Bet Saracen app. Come by and see us. We're live at Hardees on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. We're going to be here with your chance to qualify, Ty, all the way up till 1:30 today for the football trip of a lifetime.
Yeah, and again, Vegas is the destination. The 20th anniversary here of our ESPN Arkansas Hardees football trip of a lifetime. So Legion Stadium, Dallas Cowboys, Las Vegas Raiders. Come on by and see us again. Monster Burgers, just $3.50 and the $1.49 sausage biscuits until 12 o'clock today. All Fort Smith and Sallisaw locations. When we return, we mentioned Tom Murphy's breaking report about Ishmael Cisse and his injury. We'll talk with Tom about that and more when we come back in hour 2.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
This is the Morning Rush.
The summer sales drive continues at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, save up to $6,000 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, reconditioned and backed by a limited warranty. We've got you covered for your service needs as well, with half-off brakes and special financing available for those larger repairs. With our live market painless pricing and non-commissioned sales staff, we're committed to taking the hassle out of buying a quality pre-owned vehicle in the River Valley. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Whether you're opening your first checking account, purchasing your first home, saving for your first big vacation, or opening a new business, First Star Bank offers hometown service with the latest in digital banking technology. Our local team makes banking fast, convenient, and easy. From simple everyday banking to helping you fulfill your dreams, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. First Star Bank. We'll be there through all your firsts. Learn more at firststar.bank or stop by one of our local branches today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When she wrecked your heart, we were there to pick up the pieces with you. Now that you've wrecked your car, we can help with that too. Dog bite? Slip and fall? Car crash? Call Jackie Mock. 15 years in the insurance industry taught me the tricks to get you paid. Call for your wreck check today. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice. A wreck check sounds nice.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barlin.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. There's a slight chance of seeing a shower. Thunderstorm or high temperatures into the low 90s. Mainly clear, low 70s tonight, and then Thursday, sunshine, low 90s. Friday, we're back to sunny skies and a high in the low to mid 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 51 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
It's not that long till opening day. The state is ready to watch the Hawks play. On August 1st, they'll start practice on the hill. Then on August 30th, they all hit the field. We're gonna take them all one game at a time. The players will be working hard to get some playing time. Gonna games, watching TV, or listening to the radio. All over the state, you'll hear us saying, go Hawks, go. We're Razorback strong, we'll rise and shine. Victory's calling, and it's gonna be our time. No holding back, we're in this to win. We'll be calling them Hawks as the game begins.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Hey, our audio open this morning sorry, there's people in the background talking, courtesy of Mr. Marty. Marty, thanks for sending that in. It's a good way to start our Thursday edition. 51 days out from Razorback football. We're live at Hardees, 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. We got $1.49 sausage biscuits for another 2 hours. For another 3.5 hours, $3.50 Monster Burgers, and we've got our qualifier coming up here, Tommy, in about an hour and a half as well.
I was so disappointed. My buddy Scott Blair and brother Alexander over at Brothers Roofing invited me out yesterday to Uncorked yesterday afternoon. I couldn't make it. I mean, you talk about the place to go and have an after-work drink, cocktail, just good conversation. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue is always the best spot. It's got the best of everything. Great menu, but also a great selection of bourbons. No one's got a bigger, better selection of wines. And their machines, they've got the Endomatic machines is the brand name. But what it is, you get essentially a gift card that you swipe, and it gives you dollars or credits towards small portions of nice bottles of wine that maybe you don't do a glass, maybe you don't do a bottle, but you'd like to have an ounce or two and try the flavors or have a variety throughout the night. That's one of the cool and unique things you don't find just anywhere. Plus, they always got some great happy hour specials as well. I loved Uncorked. Phoenix Avenue, not very far from where we're at. Next to Sodi's and Fort Smith, they got live music coming up this weekend. Good Luck Slim Duo on the 12th, and Friday night, James Strong. I should mention that. James Strong tomorrow night. Good Luck Slim Duo for some live music that they'll have throughout July. Live music planned every weekend in July as well. Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's, uncorkedthefort.com for reservations, and I highly recommend them before you go.
Gus, got a text here from Dustin in Muldrow this morning on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. For me as a fan, we got to whoop Ole Miss's butt and prove we aren't a farming school for old Lane Kiffin. Taylor Green has to read the field better. I think that he's able to do that this year. He also thinks the running backs are going to be setting people on fire this season. So the running back room's interesting to me. You bring in Mike Washington. You've got A.J. Green, who's been here before. Braylon Russell had a game or two last season. They showed promise as a young freshman. And then Rodney Hill as well. So there are some different body types for each guy in that room. I don't know if I'm as sold as you are, Dustin, on what that looks like, but I am curious to see kind of what that rotation. The best that it's ever been under Pittman was when you had Dominique Johnson, Traylon Smith, and Rocket and AJ back when Rocket and AJ were both freshmen in 2021. But that is a group I think I don't necessarily think it's going to be bad, but I'm just more curious to what it looks like this fall in terms of who's getting what.
Got some names there. Should you have any concern that Braylon Russell entered the portal, came back, went back, came back, all those dramatics?
I thought he was going to join Lane, like Dustin was saying. It looked like, there were some reports out there that
I don't
could end up in Oxford.
In-state kid. I give the kids the benefit of the doubt these days because when someone comes and waves that big fat check in your face and tells you a great story, sometimes it's easy to get distracted anymore.
I think the deal with me, and I often, like when I get mad at a kid who's 8 years younger than me for making a financial decision, and I think about, and this isn't the case for every young man or young lady that's at Arkansas, but like I've never had to think about money once in my entire life. One time. Never thought about, like, hey, is my family okay, whatever. No, I'm just saying for that.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean. I'm like, don't
you didn't grow up rich, but you were blessed.
Middle class, down the road, whatever. And,
right.
I've talked to guys that were in situations, like I listened to Joakim Noah talking about this. So when they decided to come back, when Florida wins that initial national championship and they decided to come back, him, Al Horford, Lee Humphrey, and Torian Green were all fine financially. Like, their families were okay. Apparently Corey Brewer had it bad. And so, like, it was a real thing. Like, he might go to the NBA just to help his family. Well, some of these kids might go to another school just to help their family out. So, I get mad just like y'all do, but then I also kind of think about that perspective as well that I don't necessarily have when it comes to that type of logic and everything else.
And now, in basketball, and we're talking kind of both sports, in basketball, another year at a school may make financial sense versus going to the NBA. In football, you got 3 years you're going to play generally.
Yeah.
But if you're a out after 3-year guy, you're not worried about money.
Mm-hmm.
But now in football, hanging around for a fifth year.
John L. Davis would be a prime example of that.
Hanging around for a fifth year in football or basketball, sport really doesn't matter. You're probably not a prime prospect for the next level in all likelihood. I don't say you're aged out, but, that is a factor that they're looking at. But the reality is, stay another year and make another $1 million. If you're smart with your money, and, it's all things we all know, but you may have $3 or $4 million after taxes saved up.
I think
that's a great lift on life.
Trevin Brazil would also be a guy that maybe had an NBA chance to make the G League, but now he's at Arkansas. And apparently from reports, and Colton, like you were saying, he looked great, so I'm excited about what Trev could do in his final year at Arkansas. All right, let's talk to our friend Tom Murphy here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Tom writes, of course, for Whole Hog Sports in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, we were talking about a report you broke, I think, yesterday on the Arkansas football team. Ishmael Cisse broke his wrist, apparently in the weight room. Just kind of give our audience some perspective on losing a wide receiver for what we don't know is an undisclosed period of time.
Yeah, those are the bare bones of it, and enjoy being on as always. And it's the same, too, because Ishmael had a good spring. He was getting first-team reps. Several guys rotated through there and got first-team reps, but it just seemed like with his experience at Stanford and all that he's a guy who would have really been in the rotation. So in the interim, somebody else would get the chance to be on the travel roster and what have you for the first few weeks of the season probably until he comes back. And I looked it up a little bit. There's rehab time and there's all kind of different fractures of the wrist. My daughter even did that snow skiing one time, and so as a football player, he'll get the best treatment and a good rehab program, and I would think he'd be able to come back at some point during the year. But in the meantime, somebody else, other guys have opportunities now because that's going to be one of the wildest position groups to pay attention to because so many guys you would think have a chance. And then add Antonio Jordan to the mix now, and the Brown kid they added kind of late too, and a Gene. So it's going to be wild watching what happens there.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this depth chart kind of scratched out. Monte Harrison, the 28, 29-year-old sophomore, is amongst a group that's expected to play a lot. And then you got C.J. Brown, who played some as a freshman, had some fumble issues. But those two guys, unless I'm missing someone, Tom, are the only two guys that are coming back. Most of these guys that are coming back, or most of these guys that we're talking about in this mix, are all transfer players.
Exactly. I mean, there's a couple of walk-ons and a freshman or two, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of transfer guys. I mean, guys like Raylan Sharp and Cam Shanks, and they're a lot of slot.
Omega Blake is another one.
Sizes. Yeah, Omega Blake, and now he's a little bit taller too, and he had a good spring. So I would think that the ones we just named are all in the rotation, along with Harrison and Brown, and then you got 3 or 4 other spots that people are really going to be scrambling to get to. I mean, and Cross Johnson came back. Is he better? And so watching that play out is going to be some kind of a deal this camp.
Next week, Taylon Green will be amongst, I believe, 11 quarterbacks that will attend at SEC Media Days, and only, I think there's 5 returning starters in this league. We just mentioned the huge question mark at wide receiver, and now with Cisse apparently going to start the season injured, even bigger question mark at that position. What are some of the questions you've got for Taylon next week, kind of just knowing that, and then also knowing you've got a running back stable that's certainly not star-studded at this point, with probably Braylon Russell being your RB1?
Yeah, a lot of good questions, how they've molded during the summer. I mean, because when you think about so many transfers, as we just talked about, you got to find your guy. I mean, and I think sometimes I think Andrew Armstrong was definitely a number 1 guy, but sometimes I think Taylon looked at him at his own detriment, that other guys weren't getting the ball enough. I mean, and you saw that Luke has left after the season. Isaiah Satania just kind of felt like they weren't maybe in the mix enough. And so he's got to find that repertoire, or that rapport, I should say, with somebody. I mean, and you'd like it to be with a tight end or two. You'd like it to be with some wide outs, and hopefully, when you talk about the big picture, and Bobby Petrino mentioned this in the spring, that he'll understand the schemes better, that he'll know where his reads are, and process them faster, and know, see who's got their guy, an edge on their guy, and throw it to that guy, whether it's the first person in the progression or number 3. So I think talking to him about those kinds of things, and I think running back, I actually think their running back situation is going to be okay, because I like Washington. You can tell Pittman and Petrino both really like Washington. And then you add Russell in there, and then you got A.J. Green, and I'm leaving somebody out. But I think they'll have enough running backs to make it through. Boy, and I wish Jaquindon Jackson, I wish we'd had another season with him. I thought he was a character, and I thought he was an interesting guy. I mean, if you could take back one play of his, it would have been the fumble. And I don't think anybody even hit him. The fumble at Oklahoma State that really started changing the course of that game.
Gosh. Oh, man, that fumble and the other things that happened during that game still in my head. So, Tommy, you're talking about the running backs. What position group would you say you're the highest on? I think mine's linebackers. What would you lean towards?
On defense, certainly linebackers, and then on offense, I would say running back, because, we just mentioned all the question marks at receiver. And then when you talk about the quarterback position, I think they're number 1 guys. I think he's going to be better, and I hope he doesn't have to run as much, but him as a runner has been, so productive. I mean, it's so – when you have to defend that, it really changes the complexion of your team. And he also can outrun guys, but he's taking hits on his legs, and it cost him in the Tennessee and the Ole Miss game. He came out. So then we're talking about your depth at quarterback, and we don't know what K.J. Jackson is going to do as a second teamer, or if anybody can beat him out for that. But so it's the depth you'd worry about there. And then at running back, like I said, I think they're going to be a better blocking team. And I just feel like they have the runners to, find the gaps and get there.
Tom, I heard your voice during Cal's press conference yesterday. Colton was there as well. What did you take away in the Eddie Sutton practice facility?
I went back through and read through the transcript of it again this morning, and I was just it blows me away at how much is on his mind. I mean, you think about all the topics he touched on, the having a game in Memphis and honoring his old Memphis teams. They talked about he had 50 guys. In 9 years at Memphis, he had 50 guys come through. You couldn't do that in 9 years in modern games with all the transferring. But he talked about how don't expand the NCAA tournament. Don't mess up a great thing. And I think there's about to be a vote on that coming up very soon on whether they do expand it. He talked about so many different topics. Where they are right now as a team, and that's what I wrote about is compare last July to this July when they didn't have their roster. I mean, like, guys were injured, so they couldn't really go through these summer workouts to the same degree, the same physicality as you saw yesterday, and I just like the pace of it. Here we are in July, and they didn't do much defensively, but the pace of it was really nice, and how you quickly break down and get to the basket. There was a lot of, like, 2-man and 3-man game stuff, lobs to the basket, and you saw a ton of athleticism out there, and he'll talk about a guy's a weakness or something he needs to work on. It's really you get a lot of insight when you talk to Cal. Now, he can be long-winded and go down some tangents that are a little strange, but he also provides a lot of cool detail.
And I watched most of the 40-plus minutes. Still got 2 players that are unsigned, and they weren't at the practice yesterday. Samoto and I'm probably getting that DZAF, and I'm not exactly sure how you say his name yet, but any update on when those guys are going to be settled and kind of where that will settle out and how soon?
Yeah, I'm sad to say I don't have an update on that. He didn't go into any detail there. And then they have the kid Kareem from Lebanon who is having some back issues, and he's the only one who didn't practice. So otherwise, I mean, that was a full roster, which is a huge departure from last year. I mean, they felt like they started off behind. John L. Davis had a wrist thing going on, and he wasn't right until well into the season. And Adu had, I think his was some kind of foot or ankle deal, and he wasn't right until well into the season. So they're just starting at a much better point this time around. And Brazil he looked like he was playing with a little more confidence, and he said he added 10 pounds. So, but I do not know the answer to when the freshman signees are going to arrive and get into the groove.
So no Adu, no Big Z as he transferred out.
Yeah.
What did you see? What were your takeaways on the front line and where Arkansas will be come November when it comes to having size and ability to dominate the glass?
Well, I think they're going to have a little bit more depth there, and I'm going to have to pull out the roster because I'm not super familiar with it. But you saw Nick Pringle, the kid who has been at Alabama and South Carolina, and what a cool personality on him. I just kind of like the way he presented in that presser. But they also got the Florida State transfer,
Malik Ewan.
Ewan, 6'11" guy. And, they had him out front running some offense a little bit here and there. And that's another thing Cal talked about is how when you can run your offense through your big man, it just opens the court up more for everyone. And it's such a good thing. So I think there's a lot of good passers on this team. But depth on the front court, because when Adu was out and, Brazil's minutes were a little bit strange going down the home stretch in the conference season. He was coming off the bench, and, his minutes were a little bit erratic. But I think that just goes to show that Cal's not criticizing him in public settings a lot, but I think it goes to show if you're not doing this, you're not doing that. He'll pull you from a game if you take a shot that you've talked about. We don't want that shot. And so I think we'll see more consistent minutes from Trevin this season as more of a leader on the team. But I having maybe one more 6'9", a guy who, would take rebounds like the way Thero did at 6'7" or whatever his height was, just a big physical, burly rebounding guy would be cool. But I do think they're in better shape at, their overall depth in the front line.
Tom, we'll leave it there, man. Good stuff as always, and we'll do it again at SEC Media Days next week.
You betcha. See you then.
All right, Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. We're live at Hardees, Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Come by, spin the wheel. All you got to do is show Dwayne here that you've got the Hardees app on your phone. If you haven't downloaded that app, be sure and do that now and come in and get a free prize today, including $20 Visa gift cards. Our buddy Matt Mock from Mock Legal Solutions came in and got a basket or a bag full of biscuits this morning. $1.49 sausage biscuits. We got $3.50 Monster Burgers coming up here shortly. But you can also spin the wheel for a gift card or free combos, free koozies, free meals, lots of good stuff there. Speaking of Matt, I'm sure he's taking breakfast back to Jackie over at the office on just down the road, Phoenix. You hang a left down there on the other end of Phoenix, and bam, you're right there at their office. They understand that people go through hard times. That's why they need an attorney, whether it's divorce, whether it's family law matters, whether it's a business contract issue. Maybe you're having some kind of property problem and a problem over a property line or something like that. Maybe been a car wreck. The list goes on and on of things that Jackie has experience with and can help you through. They also understand you may not have $5,000 in your checking account to give up as a retainer, so they work with you with low down payments, easy to understand flat fees, and monthly payments that you can afford. Go to mocklegalsolutions.com. It's mocklegalsolutions.com, or call Jackie and Matt at 479-769-1505.
If you like pina colada, it's National Pina Colada Day. Is that are there drinks you were talking about your summer vegetables earlier? Are there drinks you drink in the summer that you don't necessarily drink the rest of the year? I would think pina colada would be potentially.
I don't drink. I can't. Maybe one pina colada in my life. I'm not a big pina colada guy. I don't even like the margaritas. Too sweet, too much sugar in them. A summer drink. No, I mean, there's nothing that I wouldn't drink the rest of the year. I drink more Red Diamond, Splenda Sweetened iced tea this time of year. I keep about 3 gallons on hand. 1 at the office, 2 or 3 at the house.
I don't necessarily drink Gatorade or Powerade outside of the summer, but I do. I feel like sometimes the water. Well, I love water. It doesn't do it. Colton, is there something you drink?
Apparently, you're drinking orange juice this morning, according to our YouTube audience.
Yes.
It's right in front of the camera.
Orange juice.
Blocking your beautiful face. Yeah.
No, nothing specific. But if I did have to choose, probably Ty. I think I might have to borrow one of your White Claws. That's kind of a specifically summer drink, a seltzery type drink on a boat. You gotta have a White Claw maybe once or twice.
Well, you get made fun of on this show apparently if you drink anything seltzer related. The entire audience will just come at you with pitchforks, and Tommy will yell at you like he's yelled at me over the years too. Even though it's there's less calories, Tommy.
Yeah,
you can go about it that way.
I'm not worried.
Not in a pina colada though.
No, that is That has plenty of calories this morning. All right, we've got our SEC update coming up just a bit. We're going to be at SEC Media Days next week. A week from now, Cam Ball, Taylon Green, Xavier Sorey, and Sam Pittman will be at the podium at SEC Media Days at the College Football Hall of Fame. We'll get into some other things as we come back. We're live at Hardees, 1820 Phoenix Avenue this morning, $1.49 sausage biscuits for another 42 minutes at all, or 38 minutes at all. Fort Smith and South Saw locations, and $3.50 Monster Burgers until 1:30. We resume after this.
Make sure you're subscribed to the Hit That Line Podcast Network. If you do, the podcast will automatically download to your phone. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-372-2017. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017.
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is non-indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisor Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
How about that, Quinn Groving?
This is the Morning Rush.
Are you ready to indulge in an
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
one beautiful crappie?
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie!
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box, now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
East Coast summers nipping on the run. Now the beachfront nights, 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season right around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. Bet online. The game starts here.
Thanks for
a restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price, where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks are finally the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Hugh Freeze is full of I think Hugh Freeze is trying to do whatever he can to save face. He's starting to feel pressure at Auburn, going into his third year, not having the success that the alumni, the boosters, everybody donating a lot of money thought that he would have by this point. I think he's trying to figure out and scramble on why they are not successful.
You know, that's A.J. McCarron, former Alabama quarterback, talking about his former arch rivals, teams now, head coach, and Hugh Freeze. But that doesn't mean he's wrong. I don't know, Tommy, if this is Brian Harsin-esque, the way that Auburn really started to turn on him in, I guess, year 2. In fact, Arkansas beat him, I guess, 2 years ago, and he was fired a day later. But there is – I know they had a good recruiting class, and they got some good wide receivers there. Jackson Arnold's their new quarterback. There doesn't seem to be a lot of optimism about Hugh Freeze in Auburn, Alabama right now.
You know, if you had to rank weird fans, crazy fan bases, Auburn's near the top, you know, going back to in recent years, Tommy Tuberville even being fired after beating Alabama 6 years in a row.
Lost since they've been won.
You know, it's just they are crazy. And I think things like this golf story, Hugh Freeze not having as good a couple of years as they want, I think it's part of that Auburn machine. And they ought to be, you know, feeling like, hey, here's our chance. And maybe this is part of what's fueling it. Here's our chance to maybe get on a little more level footing with Alabama. You know, 100%. Saban's gone. The board didn't have exactly a great year by Alabama standards, and you know they ought to be looking at this as an opportunity. They need stability to do that. So, Auburn, I'd keep my powder dry a little bit. Hugh Freeze, I mean, you can do a lot worse than Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, I think.
And you probably will if you fire him.
I thought when he was initially hired that this was a match made in heaven. Knows how to beat Nick Saban in Alabama, an offensive guy, and it just thus far it's been 2 years. I know the SEC is stacked, just hadn't panned out like I think a lot of people in Auburn thought it would.
If he loses to Arkansas this year, he'll be fired.
The next day?
I don't know about the next day, but he won't be the coach the next year.
Let's think about that. So, Joker Phillips.
Gene
Chizik, Brian Harsin. I think there's one more I'm missing off the top of my head. Like, you lost Arkansas, and then you lost your
in the
job.
last 15 years, all those have happened.
There's one more I'm misremembering that I can't picture right now. But who's the team? Who's the team?
Mississippi State, the defense coordinator that took over. Didn't they lost to Arkansas, and then he was fired at the end of the year? But
Zach Arnett.
Yeah, Arnett beat Arkansas in that 7-3 game. That was the growth. That was like the worst game in college football.
Happy
history.
homecoming.
Yeah, that was. But no, he was let go. So that's another one that at least in recent years. You guys ever lost money to a scammer in any way, shape, or form?
No, I had someone try to scam me out of $100 yesterday.
At the gas station?
No, on Facebook. I got a message from someone I know, runs a business here in town, and sent me a kind of a normal, hey, what's going on? What's up? You know, chat me up a little bit. Hey, I need a favor. Sure, what's up? Hey, can you loan me $100? Well, this is a person that would never, A, doesn't need $100, and B, wouldn't ask me. So I said, hey, I'll just call you on your cell phone. Hey, my phone's off. Well, then how you know? Yeah. And so I call the person. I said, hey, someone's got a hold of your Facebook. So. Yeah, they were trying to scam me yesterday.
$100. Well, you were smart to not follow through. I feel bad because I remember this kid because this is the reason Drew Sanders couldn't get on the field at Alabama. Former Alabama linebacker Dallas Turner got scammed out of $240,000. Someone was like impersonating as a J.P. Morgan guy, and he something about like authentication or verification, and he thought it was this person, and then he got scammed for $240K, which
probably fished an email.
for a rookie contract, you think, oh, an NFL guy, that's not much at all.
Yeah.
For a rookie contract,
$240,000. I don't care who you are.
yeah, that's a
Go ask Warren Buffett for $240,000 and see what answer you get.
See what he
Go ask
says.
Warren Stevens for $240,000 see what answer you get.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I felt bad seeing that story. Walter Clayton wins the SEC Male Athlete of the Year, no surprise, leading Florida to their first national championship since 2007. They're in the top 3 of the Gators despite losing a good chunk of players. I think Colton Hellman and his Condon's back for them, right? Of course, they got Boogie Flan, which wasn't on their team last year, but
They do have Condon back, one of the big pieces for the Gators.
they lost, I think, Martin. They lost Aberdeen and Kentucky, but they still returned 40% of their or 41% of their scoring. Arkansas, though, again leads the Southeastern Conference in returning scoring percentage, 45%. It's good, and again, we've talked about the additions of Darius Akov, Isaiah Seeley, Malik Thomas, Nick Pringle, Malik Ewan. But the fact that you have some cornerstone pieces for this team this upcoming season, there's a reason there was a lot of people talking about basketball yesterday in July.
As long as you can springboard that forward. 45% of your scoring, because this what Arkansas, I don't remember where Arkansas finished, but it wasn't in the top 3 in the they were the 6th seed in the SEC tournament.
Oh, gosh.
They weren't in the top 3 is the point. So, I mean,
No,
my
yeah.
point is you got 45% of the scoring back on a team that didn't finish where you wanted to be in the SEC. Fair
Yeah.
statement? All right, so that's got to be a springboard into this year being more productive. And I don't know that those two things necessarily fit hand in glove, but, the point is, you got to have a better finish to the regular season than you did a year ago.
Nope, don't disagree.
We remember the Sweet 16. We remember getting to the second weekend, and those are the things you measure a season by, but where might you have been with a little higher seed in the tournament?
It was eerily similar to the 2023 Must team with AB.
You didn't finish 6th. Hell, you had to play 2 rounds, didn't you? You were like 10th.
You played Thursday. You beat South Carolina Thursday and lost to Ole Miss Friday.
Okay.
Padula, who was like 1 for 8, hit that 3 at the tail end of the game.
I mean, you were struggling to be in the top half of the league, got in the field. But
Yeah.
Anyway, point is you got to have a better regular season. That's the point. So, all right, that's your SEC update. It's brought to you by Sterling Bank. When it comes to banking, you deserve a pleasant and productive experience and one that puts you first. And I'm telling you, that's what you're going to find at Sterling Bank, your community bank right here in Northwest Arkansas. Top-notch customer service. Every transaction feels personal because it is to them. They're not just your bankers. They're your friends. They're your neighbors. You go to church. Your kids go to school together. You know the people at Sterling Bank, and they're deeply committed to the people, the businesses, the organizations that make Northwest Arkansas home. Their passion for growth and progress fuels really everything they do on a daily basis at Sterling Bank. So if you're looking for a local, friendly bank that fits your needs first, visit Sterling Bank, Fayetteville, Rogers, and in Bentonville. Learn more at sterlingbank.com, sterling.bank. Sterling Bank, invested in you, committed to NWA.
All right, I know you're excited to hear that Balls Out Bowls is back. He's talking about this.
Can't wait.
Nudity is required. Pittsburgh area naturalists are hosting this event this Saturday at Crafton Ingram Lanes. $30 a ticket, 4 hours of unlimited bowling and shoe rental.
Look, I'm glad they're wearing shoes.
Nudism does not equal consent, and harassment shall not be taken lightly. Violators will be asked to leave. No photography or video is allowed.
It won't be the people that should be there bowling nude. That won't be the people that show up.
Yeah. No tickets will be sold at the
It'll
door.
be people that look like me,
Nudity is required with the exception women can wear bottoms. Also, certain activities not permitted.
How is that legal?
Well, I was going to ask, hey,
if you did that, they would have you arrested.
I don't know.
Did that here in Northwest Arkansas.
Has Phil made it in yet, Colton? Is he in studio yet?
The great Phil Elson is right here, and the first thing that he said was when he walked into me was, "They're talking about Pittsburgh," and they are.
Yeah, Phil, what do we think about this event in Pittsburgh?
Where is it again?
It is. Let's see, Crafton Ingram Lanes. Is that
Okay.
close to?
That's basically that's Pittsburgh.
Is that close to Squirrel Hill?
I would say it's like close. Everything's 15 minutes away there.
What are y'all doing up there? Bowling in the nude?
Yeah, what is that? Explain yourself, Phil.
Well, I mean, back in my neighborhood at Forward Lanes and Squirrel Hill, we were fully clothed.
Yeah.
Heck, some of us even had that little thing you put on your wrist to make it look like you knew what you were doing.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, that was back in the day where you could smoke at bowling alleys, too. Heck, it was expected. In fact, you're supposed to ash in your nachos.
Well, speaking of smoking, what is the scene? I think it's Jeremy Piven, who plays Ari in Entourage. I think it's The Goods, that car selling movie where he pulls out a cigarette on the plane. Have you ever seen that scene? And the stewardess is like, "Sir, you can't smoke. This has been disbanded." You know what I'm talking about, Bill?
No, but we did a whole smoking segment yesterday, just about. It didn't happen this time of the year, but growing up there, in the wintertime, you'd have the windows rolled up and friends' parents, with a full lung dart for a whole 15 minutes. Well, I don't know if it takes that long to finish one of those, but I do not remember that scene, but I do remember being on airplanes with a smoking section.
And you turned out fine.
I remember that.
The kids just aren't going through enough today.
I'm going to guess that the secondhand smoke has at least taken away 4 years from my life. It's just a guess.
4 years on the back end you don't really want anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly
Nothing
right.
good happens past 85.
They're the 4 years of drooling and being unable to walk.
That's the way to look at it. But if you're interested, you can get a quick flight to Pittsburgh to experience.
So it's naked bowling at Crafton Ingram Lanes. If I do remember, that might not be one of the parts of Western Pennsylvania you want to be hanging out with naked people.
Don't drop the ball. That's all I can say. Don't drop the ball. So, hey, it's Throwback Thursday. Joe's Grill and Cantina, South 74th Street, across from Harps. They've got a famous Cuco's platter they're throwing back to today, so that will be on special. All the flavors have made them famous. You can try that today. They've made the fresh, with veggies included, fresh salsa today. It's got the little diced carrots. Tastes so good. You'll love it. Plus, they'll have fajita Friday tomorrow and the enchiladas on Saturday as well. Hey, great Tex-Mex with even better service. Always found at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
All right, so I want to go back to the basketball team yesterday. Cole, I know we were talking about it a little bit in hour number one. Anything we missed on, you got a chance to watch it. Eddie Sutton practice facility, about an hour and 15 minutes. Cal talked for 45 minutes after it, and you were talking about it, Tommy. It's actually, like he talked about several. It didn't get boring, at least to me.
No.
I love basketball, but anything else that we didn't mention earlier that you think is important when it comes to this basketball team?
Just when talking about some of the younger guys and some of the exciting players, Malik Thomas is probably going to end up being my favorite player on the team. He oozes confidence and is just – one of the things that I noticed yesterday about him was that he's probably one of the more vocal players at practice, calling out switches and screens on defense, doing exactly what he had to do on offense, doing the things right that he had to do to lead his team vocally. And for a freshman to be able to come in and do that, I think that really just shows to how, head and shoulders prepared that some of these guys are when they take the time to go, maybe not the traditional route like high school basketball and go to overtime elite. That could have been a knock on him, but for a guy like Malik Thomas, not only yesterday in practice while he was playing, but he also oozed a lot of confidence in the press conference. He was extremely well-spoken, and I think that a lot of people are going to end up really liking him because he is extremely exciting. And, he struggled a little bit getting early on in practice when they were sort of slowing things down, and that's just not really his speed because once they got into the open floor and the practice started moving up and down the court a little bit, Malik Thomas sort of took over a time or two. So watch out for Malik. Should be fun to watch.
I thought one of the things that was cool yesterday is apparently Jay Will's been in the building since he won a championship.
Jay Will came in the office yesterday, and I said, what a great teammate Shea is, huh? He goes, Coach, I think he said dope. I don't know what that means, but he said it.
Yeah, I bet you do know what it means.
I thought that was cool. That
the age kids you hang around every day, I bet you do know what that means.
You pick up a thing or two, but Jalen Williams being back in Arkansas, just kind of cool to, again, I know him and Isaiah have the event coming up here 2 weeks from today in Fort Smith, but we always talk about the baseball team coming back, and I know last year Cal had some Kentucky guys that came and worked out at the Eddie Sutton practice facility. It's kind of like blending of sorts. You got of course, these Arkansas guys that didn't play under Cal, like Jalen, but then you also got some of his Kentucky guys that'll come back as well. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a Memphis kid or two.
And all of it's a benefit to Arkansas.
Oh, 100%. It's recruiting.
And but not recruiting, yes, but go beyond that. How did DJ Wagner end up here?
Through what, Mill?
Well, I mean, through his father and that connection. All of these guys have cousins and brothers and family members that play in you just broaden your network of Arkansas guys that weren't necessarily Cal guys, but, Arkansas's home, his guys that are Cal guys that their kids and their cousins and their whoever going to go play where Cal's at, or at least have a shot if they can fit into the equation. So it broadens the recruiting net for the whole program right now. More connections.
Yeah, and you've got Colton, you might I don't have the clip in front of me, but do you remember what he said about the Memphis game? Like, is that I know that him and Penny have talked about that, not just on the podcast, but probably off air as well. Is that I know he mentioned St. Jude's being involved and his Memphis players being honored, about 50 of them. Is that going to happen? Does it sound like it's going to happen?
From what he said yesterday, it does sound like it's going to happen. And what he really talked about was that he didn't want anything as if he wanted everything to happen, he wanted all his players from Memphis to be able to be honored and come back for that, to be able to see him and meet with him and to make, to get the most out of the donations aspect towards St. Jude. So I think from the way that he spoke yesterday, that sounds like it is going to, come to fruition.
All right, we are 16 minutes away from Monster Burgers for $3.50. Your chance to qualify to win the football trip of a lifetime and be in the finals starts here in just a little bit. Hardees on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith is where we're at. Ty's going to be here till 1:30 today. If you need a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less, you can get your seat at the final table when we give it away on August the 16th. A great trip to Vegas, baby, to see the Cowboys and the Raiders. Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202 is their number. At Gaston's, they always take care of you with top-notch customer service. They make sure every detail of your trip is taken care of ahead of time. No surprises. But if you surprise them and, hey, we need to make this change, we'd like to add these dinner reservations. Can we make sure the cabin has these accommodations? They will take care of all the details for you at Gaston's. That's one thing they are great at, is customer service and making sure your trip is memorable and special. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Transform your yard work game with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Experts and nearly 200,000 homeowners rave about Ego's performance. Gas power without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Their patented 56-volt arc lithium battery delivers top-notch torque and fits all 90-plus Ego tools. Power through yard work and tailgates with the same battery. Plus, enjoy Ego innovations like the first fold-flat lawnmower and weatherproof equipment. Discover more at egopowerplus.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
This is The Morning Rush.
No, hell no.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Did your vehicle get some dents and dings during the recent hailstorms? If so, you don't have to wait months to get it repaired. Evans Body Shop has appointments available now. Our on-site paintless dent repair team is ready to work for you. As always, we offer a lifetime warranty on our painted and paintless dent repair and a complimentary interior detail. Check out our Facebook and website for before and after pictures, reviews, and more. Call or come in today for your appointment and you'll see why we say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
The Golf Nut is thrilled to introduce new products for 2025, including Cobra Dark Speed Adapt Woods and Irons, King G440 Woods and Irons, and TaylorMade QI35 Woods. Lap putters, including the latest OZ model, are also available. Whether you want to improve your swing or enjoy the game, the Golf Nut offers a range of options. Book a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators and experience golfing greatness. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue for your ultimate golfing destination.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Everybody's talking at me.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Take my call. Listen to you guys all the time on my drive. I'm going to have to lean towards Ty here.
I'm tired of the fans being fed a bunch of lies and garbage.
You know, you got this wonderful staff that you have. Great day to be a Razorback, you know. That's my hero. I want to be when I grow up.
I appreciate what you guys do.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
All right, final segment here on the Morning Rush. We're live at Hardees, Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. You got another hour and 9 minutes to take advantage of the $1.49 sausage biscuits. And Tommy, here in about 9 minutes, take advantage of the $3.50 Monster Burger.
Yeah, you can come by and do that. And I think a lot of people have a great lunch today at Hardees. That's $3.50. That burger's normally, in today's world, $8-9 burger. This got 2 big patties, bacon, cheese, everything you want on it. A Monster Burger today, the biggest one they got at Hardees, just $3.50. If you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn Sports app, be sure and do that. You can get it in the Apple app or Google Play Store. Same place you can get the Hardees app. Come in and spin the wheel for free. All the summer stuff going on. We got the Open Championship next week. You know what we got next week, Ty? You should know this. This should be easy. This should be easy.
Talking about SEC Media Days, or are we talking about golf related?
Oh, it's sports related. Here's a clue. Summer Classic.
Yeah, you got it. You go.
Oh, my God. All-Star baseball game. You know where it's
No,
being played?
No idea.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh.
And next week while we're there. So
you get to go to the festivities?
you can clearly I'm going to get you a
The
ticket.
battery?
So you got all that. New customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets, 10% profit boost for new and existing customers. Bet with Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oakland
All right,
Sports.
so you just stumped me. I'm going to try and stump you. We got about 30
Good luck.
seconds. Where did Isaiah Campbell just get called up to from the AAA affiliate? The Worcester Royals, maybe? Now he's playing for
the Kansas City Royals?
the Boston Red Sox. Going to wear number 48.
Well, I should have. Worcester would be that'd be correct. I was just there.
So congratulations to Zayday, who's now back on that roster. That's going to do it for us. Again, take advantage of the deals at Hardees all afternoon long. Come by and see us. We're at the Phoenix location in Fort Smith.
Soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum